Yo, what's up, guys? My name is Silent Koi, and today, instead of doing a reaction, I actually wanted to give a bit of a review on some live performances that Eve had streaming to his YouTube channel. And so I was asked to check out the live performances and get my thoughts on them. And it was unfortunate because it was pretty late, but I've had a terrible sleep schedule, so I was up anyways. But I didn't really fully follow along with things, especially because there were some songs I hadn't heard before, and I would rather save those for a reaction. So I kind of just skipped around after most of it was done and checked for songs I had recognized. And so yeah, that's pretty much what I had seen of it. Like I said, it was unfortunate that it was so late, but on top of that, he doesn't leave the recordings up, so you can't really look at it afterwards. You get some time, but I don't know how long he left it up. I just know that by the time I woke up after going to sleep, it was gone. So yeah, I'm gonna be giving a bit of review. Let's get to it. And real quick, if you guys end up enjoying, feel free to subscribe, and leave a comment what you thought. So first, I wanted to talk about the actual difference in the live version versus the studio version in terms of I guess quality, or just the differences that you can recognize. And so I feel like with Eve, it actually wasn't, surprisingly, it wasn't too different. I feel like with a lot of artists, I get some amount of change to the song, but some of it's definitely purposeful. But whether it be the quality of their voice, or maybe they changed up vocal rhythms, or certain parts just to make it more I don't know, easier, or just giving a unique experience. I don't know what it is exactly, but I always find some amount of change. With Eve's songs though, from what I remember, they all sounded pretty similar to the studio versions, and I feel like that was pretty nice. The reason I say that is because of course I enjoy hearing something a bit different in a live performance. That's nice, but hearing such a similar version, it allows me to really get that live performance factor on the original stuff that on the original song that I loved hearing. So when I hear a song that is structured a bit differently than the other version, it's nice, but I also wanted to kind of hear that same version, but with the qualities of a live performance feel. I think part of the reason that a lot of people might enjoy live performances, I mean, obviously you're gonna be going there for the in-person experience, getting to have that whole in real life experience with an artist that you really enjoy, right? But I feel like another part of it is, at least for me, is the fact that I get this more authentic feel to it. Being there in person, having the imperfections of a voice. With studio versions, it's very clean, right? It's very clean, spiffied up, and I mean, I love studio versions. You hear such a clean, well-made version of a song, and studio versions are kind of a culmination of every single way that a person can try and make their song as good quality and sound as good as possible. But having that in-person, very realistic experience where you'll notice the imperfections in someone's voice or in the overall group just has its own appeal to me. And so it's cool to see that Eve was able to perform all of his songs very similarly to how the studio versions were, because that just means everything they do in the studio version is pretty replicatable in person. And this isn't even mentioning any of the actual quality of skill that these artists have, because to add on to this, Eve's voice is so similar to the studio versions as well, and it was so high quality, right? I feel how should I say this? While there are some you're gonna get some imperfections, you're gonna get some differences, some like not as clean, right? Vocals. But overall, his vocals were just very good, very high quality. It was surprising when he hit some of those high notes. I'm like, I know Eve is a skilled artist, and I know he's probably able to do this stuff, but just to hear it, you experience it. You're like, oh yeah, so he can, and it was really cool to see that. But yeah, and then the overall, all the band members and everything, and just hearing the instruments, like those, like in person, hearing the instruments, even though I wasn't in person, but still hearing the same like quality of sound. It was just all really nice. And so that's about it for like the comparison of live to in person. I mean, of live to studio. So I wanted to talk specifically about some songs. And real quick, I'll name out the ones I've heard. Let me add another one I almost forgot. But so I heard, and I'm pretty sure these are all the songs I heard. They're all ones I've recognized and even done reaction to on this channel. Some of them at least. But it's Kai Kai Kitan, which is I think the first opening for JJK. Baumkuchen End, Fight Song, which was for Chainsaw Man. Kororon, Dramaturgy, Aono Waltz, Taikutsuo Saien Shinaide, and Last Dance. Sorry if I messed up any of those pronunciations, but those are the ones I've heard. At least I'm like pretty confident on that. And so the two like ones from, at least I think it's only two of them, actually three of them, Kai Kai Kitan and Fight Song, those like Chainsaw Man and JJK. It was really cool to hear those songs because like those were really good songs from Eve. Those were amazing songs. And so to hear it in person or like hear the live performance version of it was really nice. Baumkuchen N was a song I did a reaction to on this channel, and I was like, when I first heard it, even before like actually doing the full listen through, I was like, wow, this song sounds super interesting and very like cool. And yeah, I love like the rhythms and everything and just the way it sounded. Dramaturgy, that one's pretty iconic. I think that's one of the first songs I heard from Eve, and another just solid song from him, right? And then there's two more I want to mention. I actually forgot to say this one, even though I wrote it down again. Kimi Nisakai was another one I heard, which I've done a reaction to on this channel. But before I get to that one, Aono Waltz is a song I heard. I would say it's like probably one of the first like 5 songs I've heard from Eve, and I've heard over like 30 or 40 songs from Eve now. But that was one of the first like 5 I heard from him. I think that was within the first month that I discovered him, and I felt like the song was very, I mean, I love the song. It felt very like emotional. I think Eve has songs like Kai Kai Kitan and Fight Song, stuff that are really cool, but he also has really like delicate or more emotional songs that are really nice to listen to. He has such a good voice for it too. And Aono Waltz is one of those songs, and I really, really liked it. It was probably one of my most listened to songs from him for a while. And it was to a movie actually called Josie the Tiger and the Fish. I believe that's what it was called. And it was like a more emotional show or movie. And the whole reason I even bothered like checking it out was because of this song. Eve's song for it made me want to go and listen or go and watch that movie. And so that already like shows how much I like that song. But that's enough on that. Let's get to Kimi Nisakai. So this one was interesting because I'm pretty sure I was told in probably the video for the reaction that there is a whole interaction he has with the audience, and seeing the live performance being streamed, I saw exactly what they were talking about. So from what I could tell, they had lights. I think it was like flashlights from their phone. I could be wrong. It could have been like glow sticks, or like I think they might have had something on their wrist. Not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure it was the flashlights on their phone, and they were waving along with the song during a specific part, which I can actually pull up here in a second, like from the studio version. I don't have any of the live performance stuff, but at a certain point as well, it was just the audience singing that portion of the song while they were doing that. But let me just show you guys the portion I was talking about. Let me pause real quick. I forgot, but I think it's actually the chorus of the song. Yeah, so this portion of the song was what was playing, and as I said, it was actually just purely the audience that was singing along for a section of it, and then like without Eve doing his thing, and then he started back with them, and you just see this huge like audience, this crowd, just all waving along, and it was really nice. Just like that whole like environment was so cool to see, and it probably makes for such a good in-person experience, right? Like having that sort of interaction between the artist and their fans. So it was really cool to just like see that whole moment. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to end with this because it was just so cool to see. It really makes you want to like go in person and experience a concert. You know, funny enough, I didn't actually realize for a long time that he had live performances. I thought he was just like one of those artists who, didn't really show their face. But yeah, apparently he does. And I guess I had never also really thought about it. But yeah, so that's it for this little review here, even though it has been 12 minutes actually. Dang. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about. So if you ended up enjoying this, feel free to like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you've seen like some of his live performances. Let me know if you've been to one and how that was. And I'm gonna be doing some reactions to more songs from him and other artists. So if you've got anything you want me to check out song wise, feel free to let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one.